Hey everybody, it's Albert, and with all the battles I've had with conspiracy theorists of various stripes, the Zeitgeist people, and the King James only people, and I think it was inevitable that someone would start a conspiracy theory about me. Yes, it's happened. Um, was sitting down at the computer this morning with my morning cup of coffee, checked out on YouTube. Someone sent me a video. Our old friend Edward PF123, one of YouTube's resident King James onlyists, has decided to create a conspiracy theory about me, apparently. It appears as though he's got himself in a bit of a tizzy about this Contra KJV onlyism group I started, and he's very upset about it, apparently, and we're just, of course, what he's serving to do is actually help promote it, but which I should thank him for. I feel kind of honored that I've got my own conspiracy theory too. I think that's always been a goal of mine. But he apparently has decided that I'm now leading some nefarious conspiracy. I'm the ringleader of this thing to suppress the one true Bible on YouTube or something like that, and I'm leading people under the symbol of the Antichrist, and apparently I must be some kind of closet Catholic or something like that. I'm not quite. It's not exactly a lucid video, so I mean it kind of rambles about, but apparently I've gotten under Edward's skin a little. Well, I'm going to get under it a little more, because this is just too good to pass up. So we're going to have some fun with this one, and I'll put the link in the description box so you can see that I'm not taking things horribly out of context. You can go look at the video yourself. This is going to be fun. Okay, so let's start now.
Labrium 312 has set up a group called Contra King James Onlyism, and in that group, anyone can come in that group who believes anything except that the King James Bible is the final authority. So, if you prefer the King James Bible, you're welcome in the group. If you think other versions are other way to go, you're welcome in the group. If you think the Greek and Hebrew is the way to read the Bible, you're welcome in the group. The group is set up to attack one group, one people. That group who believes that the King James Bible is the final authority.
Actually, a bit of a misnomer here. I don't really have a problem with someone thinking the King James Bible is the final authority. I would presume that they would think the Bible is the final authority, and if they happen to think the King James Bible is the most accurate translation, then certainly I would think they would think that would be the final authority. The issue is not whether they think the King James Bible is the final authority, but whether they think those who disagree with them are somehow following blindly or are active parts of a satanic conspiracy, that all other Bible translations are the work of the devil or some such nonsense. And that's really what the whole issue is with this. And that's where kind of Edward just kind of glosses over that, but you'll see he'll actually come to it in the next section.
And Laban is upset because the Rippinger welcoming view that there was a conspiracy. And of course, Virgin had the same view, but the conspiracy view that there was actually some movement out there to get rid of one book, the King James Bible. Of course, Laban says there's no conspiracy to do that. No, that's nonsense.
First of all, my objection to Gail Ripplinger isn't even as much the conspiracy theory ends of things. There's lots of that in King James onlyism, and you don't see me talking a whole lot about the others. The reason I centered on Ripplinger is because she is a pathological liar. And this is something documented not just by those who oppose King James onlyism, but by those who are King James onlyists, such as D.A. Waite and David Cloud. She just can't tell the truth, and her, as much as Edward likes to defend her, it's just simply a fact. She is a liar, Edward, a liar. And, you know, I'd like sometime to have Edward, challenge him to make a video defending acrostic algebra. That would be really, really amusing. How that's explained to us, how that's a sign of God's providence. That would make an interesting video, but that's a subject for another day. By the way, I wonder how Bergen would feel about being lumped in with somebody like Ripplinger. Certainly Bergen opposed the modern versions, but to equate his position with Ripplinger, I think, is a sin against his memory.
Well, if you go to Labium's channel, there's a connection to a blog. But Labium, the symbol that Labium is gathering all these people together against the King James Bible, that's the symbol.
Okay, let's follow this line of reasoning, because this is classic conspiracy theorist logic, okay? There's this symbol, you see, and granted, the symbol appears nowhere on the group's page. Nowhere. I can just picture some of Edward's subscribers going to our page and going, dang it, Ed, I don't see it anywhere. What do you got to do? Do some kind of secret handshake before you get to see it? No, it's not there because it's not anything to do with the group. I don't pick symbols for other people to go under or anything. So it has nothing to do with the group. But despite, and in fact, it's not even on my YouTube page. You notice what Ed said? Well, you go to Labyrinth's page and then you click on a blog and then you see it on the blogs. Okay, now granted, this blog I haven't used in months. I'm probably going to be reactivating it shortly, but I haven't used it in a long time, and it was basically it's been inactive long before this group was ever even thought of. But somehow there's this connection, you see, that somehow I am gathering all of these people under this symbol. Now, granted, this symbol again appears nowhere on the page, but that's we're just passing it in. Hey, go to the link and look at the symbol. I mean, this is just classic. This is classic. I mean, you know. I mean, and I'm gathering all of these people to oppose the King James Bible. And granted, you actually go to the group's page, and it states, and I quote, that videos should not attack the motives or character of the KJV translators, nor deny the KJV has been used mightily by God for centuries. This group is not meant to attack the KJV, but counter the errors of the KJV onlyist position. Somehow Edward left that part out. I mean, you know, obviously he's using Gail Ripplinger's research techniques on this one, but this. But let's move on, shall we?
That's the symbol. And any Roman Catholic will tell you exactly what that symbol, where you can find that symbol. You can find that symbol all over the papacy. You'll find that symbol all over the Greek Orthodox Church.
At this point, I'm going to have to give Edward a little bit of a history lesson. Back in the days of persecution under the Romans, the Christians were often meeting in what were referred to as the Domus Ecclesia, and also when they would bury Christians, you would put there would be some sort of symbols or something, and what ends up happening is you don't necessarily want to draw attention when you're under persecution. You're meeting in secret, and you don't want to draw attention to the group. So what would happen is they often adopted certain symbols that were part of the larger culture, would not draw attention, would not say, wait a minute, these guys are Christians, but give them their own meaning. There were common symbols in the Greco-Roman culture, for example, the fish, which now the Christians would give it an entirely different interpretation, of course, but certainly the motif, let's say if you saw it on a wall or something, it wouldn't draw attention, or on a gravesite, it wouldn't draw attention. The fish would certainly be one of them. There was a commonly used symbol of the man holding a lamb, and that was very popular, and it sort of symbolized, not only do you have the lamb, but you have the good shepherd, basically, and then you have the Chi Rho symbol. That's the symbol he's pointing to. It's what looks like a P and an X. The thing that looks like a P is actually the Greek letter Rho, and the thing that looks like an X is the Greek letter Chi. Chi Rho are the first two letters of Christos, which is the Greek Christ. That's what appears in the New Testament in Greek. You see, now the Chi Rho symbol had been around forever, and had all kinds of different uses. In fact, at the time, it was even used in commercial transactions as the way we would use an asterisk or something. It's a very commonly used symbol in lots of different things and would draw no attention whatsoever. It usually denoted something auspicious. But to the Christians, it denoted it's what you would call a nomina sacra, an abbreviation for a sacred name. And that's where that was the Christian use. Now, this symbol became, he mentions this being, yes, of course he's going to bring in you can't have a conspiracy theory without the Catholic Church. I mean, it's just no fun. So of course, you bring in the Catholic Church, and he does mention the Orthodox Church, and that's true. In fact, actually, the first use of it, of that symbol in terms of a sort of Christian symbol, was not actually the church itself. It was the state, particularly the Eastern Roman Empire, which historians that period, the Christian the post-Constantinian period of the Eastern Roman Empire, historians refer to it now as the Byzantine Empire, although they never called themselves that. They were the Eastern Roman Empire. That Eastern Roman Empire used that symbol. That was basically their national symbol. It also became a symbol of the church. They were intertwined, of course, and I'm not defending that, but that's the way it was. But what's interesting about all of this, of course, is that King James Bible is largely based upon a derivative of the Byzantine manuscripts, which, of course, come from the Byzantine Empire. Are we seeing a connection here? And by the way, that Chi Rho symbol was also not just used in the Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church, but in the Church of England, which, of course, produced the King James Bible. But more on that later. Let's keep going.
And that's a symbol. And Lord Jesus Christ returns, and the armies of the world united against him. That would be the symbol that those armies are united against him with. They'll be fighting under that symbol against him. That's the Antichrist symbol.
Okay, so let's get this straight. I am leading all of these people, gathering them together under this symbol that appears nowhere on the group's page. That is the symbol of the Antichrist. And the reason I'm doing this is to prevent them from using a Bible that was derived from manuscripts produced by the very church and state that used this as their symbol. Life is so complicated. Oh, we're going to stop right here now. There's more of the video, and I'll be picking that up next time. But for now, I need more coffee. Thank you very much for your time.